All right. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to fxpronow.com. And my name is Philip Anglade. And this is going to be chart breakdown dealing with AUDUSD. We are up a good amount of pips right now. And what I wanted to do is literally break down exactly from the beginning how we got into this trade and how you could have actually benefited if you were also on Mondays this week in the markets, which we have every single Monday and Wednesday. That you can be able to check out 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on fxpronow.com on our actual YouTube. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. All right, so what we see here. All right, so what we see here is the fact that based upon on the daily time frame is where I really saw most of the action taking place. So we've seen the fact that this has been a downtrend for a good amount of time. All right, we see this. Now there was a portion of the actual chart where on the H4 time frame it was making higher highs and higher lows, but essentially it kind of did the same thing over here, and then it continued its way to the downside. And with this long wick that was formed, and I was thinking, okay, what's going on here? You know, is it switching up? Is price going to continue to keep on pushing down, or is it going to completely switch at this point right here? I really didn't know. So I was actually pretty cautious about this. I was still looking for a downside movement, but I didn't really know. So what I did was I went to the H4 time frame, and when I went to the H4 time frame, what I saw is the fact that in this area right here, it started to slow up. So in this specific area right here, it started to slow up a bit, right? So I'm just going to kind of go in this region so you're going to check it out, right? So as you can see, it just started to consolidate a bit. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is shifting, right? Not only just that, but if you were to go to the H4 time frame and we were to actually pull out our Fibonacci retracement tool, from point A here, and we were to put point B right here, we'll see the fact that right here, 61.8, price starts to continue. And, you know, this is the best price reversal zone. So it was confluence the fact that, hey, price stopped at this area. It'll continue. So let's go ahead and go to the, I would go to the M30 time frame, but I'm just going to go to the H1 so there could be a little less details. And as we can see, literally right at 61.8, price literally just stops, you know, and it's starting to consolidate a bit. So I entered into my sell. It wasn't like a perfect entry or anything like that, but I entered in. And what we saw was, let's look at the M30 now. What we saw was, so we're going to take that out. All right. What we saw was the fact that price decided to actually break its structure right here. Like this was like the clearest break of structure. All right. So we saw that price broke its structure right here. Retest and then continue. I'd already entered in somewhere around here, right? And then from there, continue to the downside. Now, what happened was based upon a higher time frame, I guess you would say, price actually shifted up. And in my mind, you know, I was okay with that as long as price never went over this purple line right here. Now, why that purple line? Well, based upon the H4 time frame, because this move was based upon the H4 time frame. This H4 time frame, these candles closed at this point right here, right? And as long as a candle doesn't close on top of there, then I'm good. You know, I'm not looking to get out of this trade unless a candle closes, not these wicks. A candle closes on top of here, then that'll be a continuation of this upside move, right? So let's go to the M30, and you'll see the same purple line right here, and you know, nothing past it, you know. Anyways, so if I'm not mistaken, I think I was in the negative for a little bit, and I was okay with that. You know, again, if price does not continue over here, then it won't continue to the upside. price stayed down here. And then based upon this M30 time frame, I was saying sort of the same thing. If price does not pass this purple area right here, and go higher than these highs over here, then it should continue. And that's exactly what it actually did. So price continued to make lower lows and lower highs based on this lower time frame M30. And I believe that it will continue to do so, being the fact that it broke structure over here based on this M30 time frame, to show prices continue to the downside. And then also the fact that price is still making lower lows and lower highs. And also, let's see on the M30, on the H1 time frames for specifically this area, matching up with this area. And what we see here is, if I was to put this right here to see if this portion got lower, like closed lower, and we see that. We see it clearly. We see 1, 2 candles closing under this area right here. Price, just a short pullback. It's totally okay. And I do see the continuation of the downside. So where exactly would be my take profit, right? Where would my take profit be? Where do I see price heading towards? Well, remember how I said, like, I'm kind of like iffy, right, about if this is going to continue to push down, which it is, or if it will continue to push to the upside. So first, let's just say if I, stick with the way that I usually trade and I continue to the downside. Well, point A, point B, point C, 61.8, amazing. First take profit is usually this negative 27%. And the reason why I say usually is because it's just this right here. I've never seen anything like this before, and I don't know if price is just shifting at this point right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play both sides. So I have 2 different entries that I got into over here. One is for this move, this negative 27%, then the other, just to be safe, is the complete opposite. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Well, point A, let's just say if this is now going to turn into an upside move. Well, what I'm going to do is just say that that point A is now here, and then point B is at that same purple line, right? Being the fact that we already have it at the same purple line, boom, right? Point A, point B, and then point C. Now, what I teach in my actual course, and you'll learn it in our You Are the Indicator course, and if you have no idea what that is, what I'll definitely urge you to do is go into fxpronow.com, and I actually teach a course. And in that course, I literally break down everything when it comes to the actual charts. If you're not in our Telegram group, you can be able to get into our Telegram group. You can also be able to learn the basics for free, literally the basics. And I have a whole bunch of videos that you can be able to get access to. Now, if you really want to decide that Forex is your thing, this is really what you want to do for the rest of your life. And, I say that with true intention for the rest of your life. This is what you want to do. I would encourage you to go ahead and take our advanced course. Now, we have an online version or an in-person version. All the details for the in-person version will be here, but if you want to just get access to the online version, you can be able to click here. And if you want to get in, but you're not really able to at this current moment, you can also click on this interest button. So let's go to the online course. You'll be able to see literally everything that you could be able to get access to straight from here. And you can be able to try it for 3 days, or you can be able to just get right in and you can be able to hear other people's stories, okay? So this is where you're able to actually see everything that's a part of the course. And mind you, there's new stuff in there right now, right? To how do I know if the market is going to continue to going up or down, to literally, I'm telling you exactly how do I know whether to, how do I know when to actually enter? How do I know when to stay in or get out of my trade? I'll break down all of that for you. And right now I'm actually holding the price not at $9.97 that it's supposed to be, but literally half price just till midnight. Okay, so at $4.97, and you'll be able to click on here and be able to get access to the course itself. Let's continue. So what I see here is the fact that I wouldn't be surprised that price will go ahead and at the least, if this is shifting to the upside, because I don't know yet, But at the least, I would think that price is at least going to get to 38.2. And what's cool about this 38.2 area is the fact that it is in confluence, meaning it's two things happening at the same point, with my weekly key level. Okay, so I have one take profit at this point A over here and point B over here, right? So point C is this negative 27%. So continuing to the downside. So no matter what, it's going to continue to the downside, right? So let me go ahead and just take off a lot of this stuff that doesn't matter. Boom, boom, and boom. All right. So one at this point right here, and the other one at the least. Let's go ahead and take this one off as well. Right. So again, there's going to be, let's just say that it'll continue to the downside. Well, I have one of my take profits at this 0.68 area, right? Somewhere in this area right here, right? And then the other one at the least of this 38.2. If I see prices get into this 38.2 at this weekly, I may close out my trade, or I may just let it rock as well, and just move my stop loss. I'll have to see how this is, how quickly this is moving and stuff like that to the downside. All right, so I'm playing both sides because I don't know if this will continue to the upside. This is just a pullback, or is this the actual structure itself where it will continue to this downside? I am in favor of the sell more than I am that it will just get to 38.2 and then to go. But you just gotta protect your winnings, your earnings, because look how much that this is pulling down, and for how long it's doing this for. All right, so I guess we'll see as time will continue. And that concludes this specific chart breakdown. Thank you very much for your time. Again, you can always be able to get access to our content on fxpronow.com. Also on our actual YouTube itself. We're always adding new things. And if you're really looking to go into the next step, again, just go into fxpronow.com and go ahead and get into our actual You Are the Indicator course so that you can become an indicator. And, you could be able to literally rely on yourself. And that's one thing that I really, really focus on for other people to be able to get to that point. So again, thank you very much for your time. Speak to you soon. Peace.